Hey everyone! Today I am back doing another video, and this video is a very long awaited video. You guys have no idea. Now in this video, as you can probably tell by the title, is going to be my top 10 favorite, or in my opinion, the top 10 best Disney movies. Now I got the idea to do this video years ago. Like, it was such a long time ago. What first gave me this idea to do this video was from watching a video that Trisha Paytas did, which I believe it was the same exact thing. Like, she was doing a video about like her top 10 favorite like Disney movies and songs, and that was literally, I can't even remember the year, but it was years ago. And when she did that video, I just thought like that was the perfect video for me because I am so obsessed with Disney. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. So I wrote it down in my little list of video ideas, and just over the years, every time I just sat down to plan out videos, I always looked at it and I just always put it to the side because I could never figure out my top 10 favorite Disney movies and Disney songs would be, because I just love Disney. I love everything about it. I love so many of, you know, the Disney movies. Like, how could I ever pick my top 10? So yeah, I always put it to the side, and anytime I tried to work on it, I would just give up because I just couldn't narrow it down to just 10. And not only could I not narrow it down to just 10, I had to put it in like a ranking from like, you know, 10 to my top favorite movie. Like, it was just a disaster, so I just put it off for so many years. This year, I told myself like, okay, no more putting it off. We are working on this video, or I should say these videos, because today is obviously going to be my top 10 favorite Disney movies, and then on Monday, I believe, it'll be my top 10 favorite Disney songs. But anyway, so yes, I told myself we are going to work on it, and that's exactly what I did. I spent hours, days of thinking about my top 10 favorite Disney movies and songs, and I think I finally got it, and now I am finally doing this video for you guys years later. But I definitely want to say in the beginning of this video, and then of course this goes along for my top 10 favorite Disney songs as well, I truly love Disney. Like, I love all of it. And like, even though these are the rankings and these are the movies that are in my top 10s, there's so many other Disney movies and Disney songs that I am obsessed with, and it was very difficult to narrow it down to just 10 movies and 10 songs and rank it from pretty much best to worst in the top 10. So yeah, anyways, enough rambling, so let's just go ahead and get into the video. So if you would like to see my top 10 favorite Disney movies, then just keep on watching. So of course I will start at number 10, and then we will work our way to number 1, which of course number 1 will be my all-time top favorite Disney movie. So for number 10 and also for 9 and 8, I decided to choose more like new Disney movies. If anyone knows me, I am an old Disney girl. I love the older Disney movies. Like, those are my favorite, and no offense to the writers and artists now, but like, just the newer Disney movies will never beat the older Disney movies. That's just my opinion. But there are a few newer Disney movies that I absolutely love for more than one reason. So yes, number 10, number 9, and number 8 are newer Disney movies that I definitely wanted to include in these top 10 favorite Disney movies of mine. So for number 10, I chose Zootopia. And if you see me looking down, it's because I have my list of my movies and stuff. So I didn't want to get confused, so I wrote everything down. So yes, number 10 is Zootopia, which is seriously the cutest movie I have ever seen. Like, it's just such a cool movie, and it's so funny. I love Flash. Like, the part with Flash at like the DMV is like the best part in the movie. It's so funny. Yeah, I just think it's such a great story, and I was really surprised by it when I watched it. Like, I was like laughing and smiling through the whole movie. Like, it's just a great movie. So if you have not watched Zootopia yet, I definitely recommend it. For number 9, I put the movie Up, which another really great, fantastic movie. And the reason why I wanted to include this movie in my top 10 favorite Disney movies is because not only is it just a good movie, but I just absolutely love like the message behind it. Like, it's such a touching, beautiful story in my opinion. And then just like after like his wife dies, and they have like that adventure book, and how she writes in there, thanks for the adventure, now go have a new one, or something like that. Like, it's so touching. And just the fact that he's just like this grumpy old man that like obviously lost his wife, which is so tragic, and he just goes off on this huge adventure basically for his wife to live out one of her dreams. Like, it's so touching. I cried like a baby the first time I saw it. So it's just such a cute movie, so I had to include it in my top 10 favorite Disney movies. Now to move on to number 8, I put Tangled. I am definitely a Tangled girl. I feel like you're either a Frozen fan or a Tangled fan, and I am definitely a Tangled fan. I loved Tangled from the second that I saw it. I watch it all the time. I just think it's such a cute story, and I love like the music in it as well. Like When Will My Life Begin? Oh my gosh, I love that song. It's such a great like sing-along song as well. And yeah, Tangled, it's just a great movie. Now to move on to number 7, and from here on out, it's gonna be mainly like the older Disney movies. Like I said, those are like my thing compared to newer Disney movies. I love the older Disney movies. So for number 7, I put The Fox and the Hound. I feel like some people may be a little shocked by this, that this is one of my favorite Disney movies. Mainly because like I just feel like I'm such like a Disney princess girl, which I definitely am. And of course I do have some Disney princess movies coming up in this countdown. But I think one of the main reasons why I love The Fox and the Hound and why it's in my top 10 favorite Disney movies is because it reminds me so much of my grandparents. And like when I was younger, and like me and my sister, we would always go over to their house. And like that's just the movie I remember watching, like being there, like being with my grandparents and playing there. And then after like, you know, we're done playing, or when we're done like eating lunch or dinner, we would put in a movie, and The Fox and the Hound is one of the movies we would always watch. And of course I love it because it's just a great story and it's just overall so cute. But I think that's one of the main reasons why it's in my top 10 favorite Disney movies, just because it just gives me that like calmness. It just reminds me of my grandparents. I'm sure you guys have something similar, whether it's a movie or just some other object that reminds you of like a family member or like a really great memory in your life, and it just means so much to you. So that's kind of how this movie is for me, and it really just gives me that sense of calmness. Even when I watch it today, it just makes me feel so relaxed, and it just brings me back to all those good times that me and my sister had at our grandparents' house. And of course it reminds me of my grandmother, which she passed away when I was 5 years old, I think. So yeah, it just brings me this overall sense of calmness. So I don't know, I just really wanted to include this movie in my top 10. Now we're gonna move on to number 6, which is going to be the first Disney princess movie in my top 10 favorite Disney movies, and that is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I definitely wanted to include this movie in my top 10 favorite Disney movies because it's just a classic. I believe it was one of Walt Disney's very first animated movies that he did, and when he came out with it, it did so well. It was just such a huge hit, and like, yeah, to me it's just a classic. Like, it's just one of those movies that you just need to have in your Disney collection. And like I said, it's an older Disney movie. It was like one of his first like animated movies, so I just absolutely love it. And of course with this video I had to dress in something Disney, so of course I have my Snow White necklace with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and then I'm also wearing my dwarfs shirt. So yes, as you can see, I definitely love me some Snow White. Now to move on to number 5, which is another Disney princess movie, and that is Beauty and the Beast. I had to add Beauty and the Beast in my top 10 favorite Disney movies because, again, it's just another classic Disney film. Oh, and I should probably mention it's the cartoon Beauty and the Beast that I'm talking about. I do love the People one that came out, what year was that? 2017 maybe? I do love that one, but I'm talking about the cartoon one in this particular countdown. So yeah, I just love this movie because it's just a classic Disney movie. I absolutely love the colors and the artwork, and the music is like, the songs in that movie are honestly one of the best out of all the Disney movies. So yes, I definitely had to add this movie in my top 10 favorite Disney movies. Now to move on to number 4 out of this top 10 favorite Disney movies of mine may come as a little bit of a shock because it's not a princess movie, but it is 101 Dalmatians. I definitely wanted to add this movie in my top 10 and make it more towards like the higher end, or like one of the best Disney movies, because I've just, ever since I was a little girl, I've just always loved this movie. Again, just because it's like older, I just love the artwork in the older Disney movies. I think maybe because everything was hand-drawn compared to nowadays where everything's more like computerized. I just absolutely love like the handwork and the artwork in older Disney movies, and you can definitely see it in 101 Dalmatians and of course in a lot of the other older Disney movies. But I don't know, there was just something about 101 Dalmatians that I have always loved, and still to this day I watch it all the time. And it's another one of those movies that just gives me like a sense of calmness. Like, there's just a few of those Disney movies that I just love to watch all the time because it just helps me relax and it puts me in such a good mood, and 101 Dalmatians is definitely one of those movies. And of course I just love Cruella de Vil. Like, she's just such a badass bitch and I just absolutely love her. Now to move on to number 3, we're getting back into the Disney princesses, and that would be Cinderella. I definitely wanted to put Cinderella in my top 3 favorite Disney movies because she is one of my favorite Disney princesses. My favorite Disney princess is really tied between Cinderella and Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. So yeah, I just absolutely love Cinderella. I've always loved the story. And again, Cinderella is probably the top movie that makes me feel the calmness. Like I was just talking about, like there's just certain Disney movies that just make me feel so calm and relaxed and happy, and Cinderella is probably the top movie that makes me feel that way. Like I don't know what it is about that movie, but I just absolutely love it. Like I watch it and it puts me in such a good mood. I feel like I can conquer the world because there's Disney, I don't know. I'm weird. Like Disney just has that effect on me. And Cinderella is just definitely one of those movies. And of course I just love again, back to the artwork and the music and just the story. Like I just love everything about Cinderella and just the way it makes me feel so happy. So it definitely had to be in my top 3 favorite Disney movies. Now to move on to number 2, and that would be Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland I wanted to put near the top of my favorite Disney movies, mainly because when I was a little girl, that was actually my favorite Disney movie. Which again, it might come to a shock to some people because she's not a Disney princess, or at least I don't consider her a Disney princess. But yeah, when I was little, that was my movie. Like I loved it. Out of all the other Disney movies, like that was my thing. And like I still love Alice in Wonderland to this day. It's not my top favorite, clearly, because it's number 2 and not number 1, but I'm still obsessed with it. And again, just the artwork of it and the colors, just how unique the movie is and the story, like I just love it. It's just so good. And now to move on to number 1, my all-time favorite Disney movie is Sleeping Beauty. Now I definitely love Sleeping Beauty because similar to the reasons that I gave for some of the other movies that I mentioned in this top 10 favorite Disney movies video, is just the artwork, the songs, the story. But I think what makes Sleeping Beauty my top favorite Disney movie of all time is, well, because I love Aurora. Like I said, my favorite Disney princesses are Cinderella and Aurora. Like they're just tied up there. Like I just love them. But another reason why I love Sleeping Beauty is probably the artwork. I think the artwork you see in Sleeping Beauty is like above any other Disney movie out there. Like, I just absolutely just love the colors and just the kind of the like medieval look on everything. Like I don't know what it is, like I'm just so attracted to it. And even as a little kid, like I would just stare in awe at like the artwork, especially at the part near like the beginning of the movie when they're like burning the spinning wheels, whatever those things are called. Are they called spinning wheels? I don't think they are, but you know what I mean, when they're like burning those, and it's the scene where like there's this huge fire and you can see like all like the orange and red tones in the fire, and I don't know, I just absolutely love the artwork in that movie. And of course, not only is Sleeping Beauty one of my favorite Disney princesses, but Maleficent is one of my favorite Disney villains as well. So yeah, not only is it just a great movie, and I love Aurora and I love Maleficent, I think it's the artwork and the songs and the music and just everything about that movie to me is just like, it just tops anything else. Alright everybody, so that is it. That is my top 10 favorite Disney movies. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I want to welcome you to please subscribe, especially if you want to see a continuation of this type of video. On Monday, I will be uploading my top 10 favorite Disney songs. So please, after you're done watching this video, if it's up, please make sure to go ahead and check that out. And of course, if it's up, I can try to link it down in the description box as well to make it a little bit easier on you guys. And if you yourself are a Disney fan, please go down in the comments down below and let me know what your favorite Disney movie is and why. I would love to hear from all of you. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video when I tell you my top 10 favorite Disney songs. Bye everyone.